All right, let's talk about it. Bottoms, y'all need to hear this. All right, hear me out, because this message right here is about to shift your whole mindset. If you want your man to treat you better, give you more, and step up at home in the relationship, well, guess what? You've got to step up too. Just like women in straight relationships, gay bottoms often take on the nurturing role, but sometimes egos get in the way. And that's where everything starts to fall apart. All right, let's break this all the way down. In gay relationships, a lot of bottoms naturally take on the roles that mirror those of women in straight relationships. Think about it. You want to feel cared for, protected, and prioritized. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. Just like women who want her man to step up and be more dominant, you have to understand that men, whether they're straight or gay, respond to energy. Here's a scenario. You're frustrated because your man never plans a romantic date. Instead of nagging him, "You never take me anywhere," try flipping the script. Say something like, "Babe, I love when you take charge and plan something for us. It makes me feel so special." That little nudge of appreciation will stick in his mind, and trust me, the next week, he'll be surprising you with the dinner reservation somewhere at your favorite restaurant. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Ego. As two men in a relationship, egos can clash hard. You both want to feel seen, validated, and in control. But let me be real with you. If you're in a dynamic where your partner is the more dominant one, you can't out-ego him and expect to get the results you want. It just doesn't work. Like, take this for an example. You're annoyed because he's scrolling on his phone instead of paying attention to you. Instead of snapping, "Can you put your phone down for once?" Try a softer approach. "Babe, I really love when you're present with me. It means a lot when we have quality time." You're addressing the problem without attacking him, and you're reinforcing the behavior that you want. Or let's talk about the decision making. You're trying to figure out where to eat, and it turns into a standoff because neither of you want to back down. Instead of letting the ego war drag on, take a step back and say, "You know what? I trust your judgment. You always pick the best places." And watch how fast he rises to the occasion, because now you've made him feel valued instead of challenged. A lot of people don't see that. Why appreciation is key. Here's the tea. Men thrive on appreciation, dominant men especially. It doesn't matter if they're gay, straight, bi, or somewhere in between. If you show genuine gratitude and create a space where they feel valued, they'll naturally want to do more for you. Think about it. Your man's holding it down financially. Maybe he's paying the rent, covering the bills, or treating you to vacations. Instead of treating it like start showing gratitude. "Babe, I appreciate how hard you work to take care of us." It doesn't go unnoticed. That comment can make a man feel like a superhero, and you'll see him continue to step up even more. You'll get way more results that way. Bottoms, let me ask you this. Are you creating a relationship dynamic where your man feels appreciated, or are you letting your ego get in the way? Are you quick to point out what he's not doing instead of celebrating what he's actually doing? I mean, let's keep it real. Dominant men thrive on feeling desired, and that includes in the bedroom. If you're always waiting for him to make the first move, or assuming he knows how you feel, or it's time to change that. Compliment him. Tell him how sexy he is. Give him the same energy you want to receive, because he feels wanted. He'll give you more and more and more. I feel like that's one of the biggest misconceptions within gay relationships. I think that we do get into the gender roles, but then there's so much male ego that gets into play that, the more submissive ones, they don't really show the appreciation. And for me, and the thing about us as men, gay men, we're able to be on both sides. I've been submissive, I've been the dominant. So I've been on both sides where I wasn't appreciated, and I feel like I didn't do the appreciating. And you could see the dynamic shifts when you're in different parallels in a relationship. So I just feel like if you are a bottom, if you do take a lesser role, it does not mean that you have to sit around and be stepped on or abused or take advantage of. But at the same time, the things that you require, the things that you will want from your man, you should be able to give some sort of level of gratitude or appreciation if you want to get more. Men are so easy to please. If you want that nigga to do whatever you want him to do, be a team player, be a partner, be someone that makes his life easier. Don't compete. If you're going to take a lesser role, your ego doesn't need to rear up and try to challenge him, because at that point, you're no different than an aggressive, masculine, energy having female that can't control her man or can't figure out to get good results in her marriage because she has too much masculine energy. So if you're going to be in your divine masculine 100% of the time, you need to be a dominant dynamic. You need to be in a dynamic where you're the dominant, because if you can't submit, if you can't back down sometimes to your partner, your man, then you don't need to be a bottom. You don't need to be in that relationship as the submissive one. You need to go be in a dominant position in your relationship because you're not understanding the roles here. And I just feel like if you are a bottom and you are in a relationship, you need to make sure that you are submitting to your man, and at the same time you're showing him appreciation and gratitude, because that is how you are going to get whatever it is that you want out of that man. You can't nag him. You can't try to match the energy. You can't meet him where he's at, especially if he's the breadwinner and he is the dominant one in the relationship. Especially like there are roles here. And I just feel like a lot of times, like bottoms, y'all want to be in a situation where it's like, okay, well, treat me like a woman, treat me like this, and make me feel heard and make me feel seen. But then it's like, y'all don't want to do the other part where it's like, submit like a woman and like do those other things and don't really argue or don't really challenge up, because then once you feel away, you get into your divine masculine and then you're trying to have this like ego battle. So it's like, how do you have both? It's like, maybe sometimes you need to let your man know, like, babe, you look good today. You look sexy today. I appreciate what you do for this family. I appreciate what you do for this household. Oh, you know what? I really like how hard you've been working lately. It really turns me on when you go to work and you work really hard and provide for the family. I'm so inspired by that. I love that from you. That makes me so happy that you're my man. Reaffirming your partner like that, do you realize that man, even if the nigga was out here doing some dirt, right? Imagine if the man was out here doing some dirt. Let's just say, because we talked about the whole monogamy being dead, that whole thing. Let's just say you had a guy and he wanted to be out here outside and he was cheating on you. Let's say he did cheat on you. Let's say he was flirting in the DMs. Let's say he was doing those things. I guarantee you that person would actually second guess wanting to get outside if they was like, you know what? Why would I do this if I got somebody at home that appreciates and loves the shit out of me? Like, I feel like an asshole. I'm not saying that they probably won't make mistakes, because people will make mistakes. I ain't gonna hold you. But you're more likely to get them to think twice about before they make the mistake versus being like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm about to just do what I'm going to do because this is bullshit anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you plant the seeds, if you want your nigga, like, especially if you want your person to be monogamous and to you and only about you. And let's be clear, we know how it is, especially if you're dating a hyper masculine man, right? And they can get a lot of attention from a lot of different people. Because masculinity is like a rarity in our community and everybody wants something that's super masculine presenting and masculine acting. So if you're a bottom and you're able to find that, and then that they're desired by everybody because it's far and few in between, then that they have a lot of different options, right? So they're masculine, they look good, they got money, they got whatever, they got, they big downstairs, whatever the case may be, that they have options. So yeah, they might flirt, they might do these things, but you need to make sure that at the same time you are showing, if they choose to be with you, you're showing a level of appreciation, because I feel as though if you do that, it'll make them think twice about going outside. And now, if you're always matching energy and matching their ego and doing this ego battle, when it's time for them to fight temptation, why are they going to think twice? They're just going to be like, you know what? Let me go do what I'm going to do anyway, because I know I'm coming home to a freaking whirlwind at home, so fuck it. And then you're like pissed. Your relationship is like stagnant, dead. You're trying to figure out, well, what happened? But what happened is it's too much masculine energy going on. And you probably don't want your man to be, what, are you going to be the man, or do you want your man to be the man? Because if you want to be the man, then he needs to submit. But if you don't want him to submit, then you got to submit. And I be thinking like that, I see that a lot, where it's like you want the man to be the man, but then you don't want to fully submit, because then you want to be the man too, because we're both men. But then it's like, well, you wonder why things are not working, because it's too much masculine energy in one spot. So somebody needs to tap into their divine feminine and their submissiveness, and the other one needs to tap into their divine masculinity, and y'all need to make it work that way. So I think for bottoms, if y'all really want y'all men to do what y'all really want them to do, then you need to focus on being in that. Even if you're a masculine bottom, right? You can still tap into your divine feminine, where you don't have to go and meet the nigga where he's at. Show gratitude, show grace, and don't be combative. We always say that about the thing is, like, people say that about black women, like, oh, she's just a, angry black woman. Do you know that they say that about the gays too? Do you know that that's the reason why a lot of black gays go and date Hispanic men and white men, because they find that they're less problematic, less childhood trauma, and they seem like they have a better quality of life, because when black men attempt to date each other, it seems to be like this violent, argumentative, toxic, trauma bonding circle. And then you find the black men that go out and date Asian and white, and they're like, well, what happened? And they seem like they're just in the best space ever. But then you see, we get into relationships and we're beating each other up on Beagle Live. It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. So I just think that, let's let the egos go. And of course, I'm definitely going to do a video on the tops too. I ain't going to leave y'all hanging. But this one is for the bottoms right now. All right, so here's my challenge. For the next week, I want you to focus on one thing: appreciation. Show your man some love. Compliment him, thank him, and make him feel like the king he wants to be. If he's distant, don't accuse him with, why are you ignoring me? Instead, try this: babe, I noticed you've been quiet lately. Is everything okay? I'm here if you want to talk. That shift from confrontation to care will break down walls faster than you expect. It's not about being a pushover or you're sacrificing your standards. It's about understanding the dynamic and playing your role in a way that makes the relationship stronger. Trust me, when you bring the right energy to the table, you'll get the results that you've been looking for. Now listen to me. Bottoms, the power to change your relationship is in your hands. Appreciate, respect, and balance are the key to unlocking the best version of your man. You want a king? Then treat him like one and watch him move mountains for you. That's really the T. And I know this to be true because even in my relationship, I know that my man, he really runs it. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's the submissive one, he really runs the show. If he says it's not a good idea, then I don't do it. If he tells me don't do this, I'm not going to do it. I could have all the control, but if he says we're not doing it, it won't happen. It doesn't matter if I have the money, it doesn't matter if I have the resources. If he doesn't want to do it, we won't do it. So I think that bottoms don't even realize that when you have all the power, because you literally can make or break your household. All right, we're going to have a good day today, or we're not. It's just like that saying, if the woman, happy wife, happy life. It's the same thing. Happy bottom, happy life. You know what I'm saying? So, because they literally, just like the women, run the household. We've all had moms at one point. You know that if your dad ran the household, he was the breadwinner, he was the dad, he was the man of the house, but your mom really ran it. She really made the decisions. It's the same thing for you. That man is going to really work for you, but it really determines on how you treat him. That man will go out there and work for you, but if you don't appreciate it, he ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. You're not gonna see that. So if you already have the power and you already run the situation, but if you don't understand your power and you abuse your power and you become confrontational in your power, then you're just going to, men are fragile, especially dominant men. They're fragile when it comes to their partners that are more submissive. If you don't show that appreciation, if you don't show that love, then they are not going to show up for you in the way that you want. You're going to get cheaters, you're going to get liars, or you're just going to get stagnation, and niggas not going to give up. They're just not. And you see that time and time again in the same parallels with straight people. So I ain't saying this to say, just lose all your morals and values, but I'm actually saying understand that you really do have the control, but it's about how do you use it. So I want you to try that next week. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Do y'all agree with this situation? Do you not? And yeah, let's talk about it. Until next time, keep that same energy, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.